Hey, Steve Zook, welcome back to Pokesio Channel. Hey, this is the kind of guitar I really get excited when I can find because I mean I get one of these maybe once a year. It's just they're really hard to find, and some of them just really have a vintage tone, and some of them kind of sound kind of blah because I really know guitars. I've been doing this for 35, 40 years. This is the Takamine F340S made in Japan. I love the color, that kind of aged golden solid spruce top. These are amazing guitars if you can find a good one. And like I said, a lot of them are kind of okay, kind of mediocre, but the great ones that have that really rich, resonant, almost like old, really cool 50s Martin tone with a little bit of Yari in there as well, are really hard to find. And I've actually been trying to get this one for a few weeks, and we finally came together on it. But it's got Grovers on it, so it's got change tuners, so it's got some of the little cute little holes in there, but better tuners, and it's got that kind of this is kind of like what many would call a lawsuit Takamine because it's a copy of like a Martin D18. In fact, I have a studio in Ventura, and I've got a 50s Martin D18 worth a lot of money, and I also have one of these in the studio. And I've had many clients that have recorded with both and actually prefer the tone of the Takamine F340. The Japanese know a lot of secrets about making guitars. This guitar literally just came, I mean, I just drove back from getting it, so these strings have probably been on here for a long time. They're old. They sound like Martin strings, which are kind of dull to my ear. You might need to raise the nut just a little bit, but also I'm in a tuning, so maybe if you go to standard tuning, but you might want to dial this in a little bit. It's maybe even take the action up a little bit or go with a little heavier strings. But like with used guitars, they tend to change a little bit over time, and it really sounds nice. Boy, I haven't played some of the stuff I do. I haven't done some of the stuff I do on steel string for a while, but yeah, this really has a... It's got that warmth, that woody warmth. Like I said, you might need to dial it in a little bit. I mean, our setup is so subjective. Like I said, it just kind of seems like maybe, you could just take the saddle out and put a little piece of business card under it and raise it up just a little bit. Might help it play a little bit better right there. But it's not bad. These strings look pretty rusty, so it's probably, these strings have probably been on here at least 6, 7, 8 months. A new set of strings, and it would sound even better, but it sounds awfully damn good right now. bit of a buzz on the first string. Like I said, any used guitar you might want to dial it in a little bit, but this sounds amazing. I'm really tempted to keep this because I love these old guitars made in the 70s and 80s, made in Japan, and especially the lawsuit ones. I'll probably do another video with standard tuning, but yeah, this really has a beautiful sound. Sounds that good with old, 8-month-old strings. Anyway, short demo, not a performance. These are old 7-8-month-old strings. I'm using a $100 Zoom Q3. So, but yeah, this guitar sounds unreal. I really love stuff like this. Nice solid top. Hell of a guitar. All right, folks. And what's nice is there's quite a bit of saddle left, so there's not as much neck shift as a lot of these you see where they have a super small saddle because they've had to sand it down quite a bit because the neck kind of moves forward. That's a lot of saddle left there, so you can play with it if you want. I think all I would do to this guitar, because it plays pretty damn good, I think I would just bring it up a little bit at the nut. I think it's might be a little low there at the nut, But yeah, it plays pretty damn good, but you might need to dial it in a little bit. But this is a hell of a box. It's got a hole in the end here from the end pin. You can either plug that up. Personally, I think it helps it sound better. It gets rid of some of phase cancellation problems, because with a dreadnought, you get so much volume and so much musical sound waves bouncing around the inside of the guitar. To let them out a little bit is actually helpful, but that's up to you. You can always, get that, patched up cheap and put an end pin in there if you want to. I love the color of this, the kind of patina. It's just so cool. I love stuff like it. It's so hard to find. I looked for months for stuff like this. In fact, I had contacted the guy about this guitar weeks ago, at least, and then later he finally got back with me today, and he had been moving and everything, so I'm big job, as you know. Yeah, these are really old strings, probably 7-8 months old, so it's going to sound a lot better with some newer strings. I'm not sure if I'm going to put some on, because when you buy and sell guitars as well as collect them, you can go through a lot of money just changing strings left and right every time another guitar comes in. So, but I love the warm woody tone. That's really nice, Hear it right there. All right, folks, take care. Lawsuit model Takamine 340. I think it's F340S. This is the one to get. If you want to get a guitar that sounds like you spent thousands and you don't want to spend a lot of money, these are getting really hard to find. Like I said, I've played a lot of these. Most of them sound pretty damn good, but some of them have a lot more wood in the sound. It's the only way I can describe it. Some of them have more of a wooden bell type tone, so that's how I describe it. And this is definitely one of them. So beautiful guitar. Anyway, it's got some dings, like any dings and scratches, like most of these do. Um, it's got some kind of scratches in the back and whatnot. But you don't buy this for, you buy a guitar like this to get a sound that sounds like something you could spend thousands on. And these if I sound a little enthusiastic about it, it's because I am. I love these. I love stuff like this. To my ear, they have more of a Woody Martin-y sound than like an Alvarez. And I love a great Alvarez or a Yari, but these have more wood in the tone. They still have the beautiful mid-range, mid-bass, and highs, but more of that kind of old Woody Martin tone is in there, and I just love that. So I think if I had to choose between an Alvarez or a Yari or this, I'd take this. But then again, you got to judge every guitar on the merit of that particular guitar, because guitars vary greatly from guitar to guitar. But I've sold a lot. I have sold a lot of Alvarez's and Yaris and Martins, and I think that's a pretty accurate conclusion that these lawsuit Takamine F340Ss have a lot more, mountain Martin log cabin woody tone in them. I love it. It's a really neat guitar. All right, folks, take care.